In my last episode, I explained how Rigathi Gachagua, Martha Karua, Kalonzo Musyoka, George Natembeya, Eugene Wamalwa and Fred Matiang'i are all maneuvering for 2027. I talked about who is gaining ground and why unity in the opposition is the only way to stop President Ruto. But today, the country has been shaken by President Ruto's latest speech, one that might change the future of the protests and freedom in this country. I saw the president giving a speech mpaka anafika mahali anachizahau, anauliza watu kwamba mnanisikiza kweli? Yaani alikuwa anaongea na uchungu kana kwamba kuna kitu anataka kufanya na haitakuwa kitu mzuri. Right now, the president is out of control. Karibu sana to my YouTube channel, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dalmas. This is the place where I speak the truth boldly and break down politics in simple words so that everyone can understand. I don't fear anyone and I'm here to open your eyes. Subscribe now if you've not subscribed, because today's episode will shock you about the dangerous direction Kenya might be heading. Without wasting much time, ladies and gentlemen, let's dive to today's discussion.
Mimi nataka niwaulize, and I must say this with clarity. Leaders, religious leaders, political leaders, please let us not incite the young people of our nation into situations that violence, lawlessness, destruction of property, loss of life become the order of the day. We must step back as a nation and ask ourselves, is this really what we want to do? Kwa sababu yale mambo yanaendelea ati tunaambiwa ni maandamano. Watu ambao wanapiga.
You've seen how the president is speaking. The president is out of control completely. President Ruto has come out stronger than ever against maandamano in this country. While he was giving his speech today, Marakwet, the president accused religious and political leaders of inciting young people to commit crimes under the cover of demonstrations. He said that Kenya will not be in the chaos it is today if these leaders they were not pushing youth into the streets. And this to me shows that Ruto believes that the maandamano are not just about economic hardship or democracy, but are being driven by leaders who want to destabilize his government. Interior CS Kipchumba Murkomen, speaking from his own backyard, was even harsher today. He declared that the government will use the same force and the power used against the bandits and terrorists to deal with the violent protesters. Ladies and gentlemen, you can imagine ni mahali imefikia someone who is powerful in the government akisema kwamba wale wanaandamana wakuwe dealt with like bandits or and terrorists. This is something that the country will not accept. Na Raila Odinga mahali kwingine alikuwa anaongea, amesema kwamba President Ruto, when he said that shoot legs na Murkomen shoot to kill, this is out of anger, na akasema kwamba wasipochunga venye wanaongea, this will bring them into problems. I want to say that this is a huge statement because it means that protesters might now be treated as dangerous criminals, not just as citizens excusing their rights. Murkomen specifically said that the government won't spare an effort against those who burn property, attack police stations, invade courts, or march towards State House. President Ruto echoed that message, describing violent protesters as criminals, not Kenyan youths. He said that watu wanapiga askari, wanafamia polisi, wanachoma makoti, wanachoma mali ya watu. Hao sio vijana wa Kenya, hao ni wahalifu. And to me, this statement is very serious. It means that President Ruto has drawn a line between legitimate protest and what he calls criminal acts, and is ready to crush the latter without mercy. This is dangerous. The president and the CS Interior also warned politicians against hiding behind tribalism when the government cracks down on violent protests. Murkomen was clear that whether someone comes from Nyeri, Nairobi, Kitengera, or Ngong, they'll be dealt with equally if they participate in violence. The president added that he will do whatever it takes, whatever it costs, to keep Kenya safe. He warned politicians that he would personally face them if they continue encouraging lawlessness. That's what the president was talking about. And I want to tell you that his speech had huge political implications. Number one, the president is trying to control the narrative that protests are not spontaneous but are being planned by political and religious leaders. And this helps him justify using force against protesters because he can say he's protecting the country from chaos rather than suppressing the dissent. Number two, treating protesters like bandits and terrorists is a dangerous road. Kenya is a democracy. People have the rights to demonstrate even when they are angry at the government. If Ruto goes too far, he risks turning Kenya into a police state. Whether fears represses freedom, already international organizations are watching closely. Any evidence of excessive force or killings could land the president in more trouble, possibly even at the ICC, as the former deputy president has threatened. Number three, the president's speech might deepen political divisions in this country. Opposition leaders like Raila Odinga, Martha Karua, and Gachagua might use this tough talk to rally support. And I'm putting Raila as an opposition leader because how Raila Odinga is talking right now, it seems like he's not supporting what the president is talking about. They'll say that Ruto is trying to silence criticism and rule through fear. And this could make the protests even larger and more intense. My take to this is that, let me say it plainly, ladies and gentlemen, Ruto is sending a stronger message that he won't tolerate chaos. But there is a thin line between maintaining order and becoming a dictator. If he keeps threatening protesters like terrorists, he might win in the short term, but he risks losing the people's trust and damaging his image permanently. Kenya's future depends on how he balances security with freedom. This is DMTV, Kenya, ladies and gentlemen, the channel where I tell things the way they are so every Kenyan can understand. Subscribe right now because the next episode might reveal more secrets even State House doesn't want you to hear about. Goodbye and stay tuned.